Good morning, everyone. This is Doug Davis with Coranby Realty, broker in charge, and with another episode of Ask Doug. So I had an agent in my office ask me a question to help them evaluate a particular lot for potential and for value. So I thought I would just go through what one would do to evaluate what kind of value you would have for something that might be further subdivided, developed, and what would be the highest and best use, as they say. What could you do with this property? So it's approximately a half an acre of land, and it used to have two homes on it, and one was torn down and removed. The other one has fallen apart and is no longer safe or habitable, but is still on the property. And let's just say we have approximately 26,000 square feet of land. So what do you do with that? What's it worth? How do you evaluate it? So, okay, so on face value, let's take 26,000 square feet of land. It's R5 zoning, which is the most liberal of the residential zonings to allow for development. So you take the 26,000, it's just a rough way of doing this. Take 26,000 divided by 3750, 3,750. That gives you 6.9 potential kitchens. But for the city, you have to round down. So that's 6. Okay, and then what the heck is 3,750? Why do you use that? Well, that's half of 7,500 square feet. Why does that matter? Okay, so R5 means minimum lot size. If you were to subdivide it today, you would have 5,000 square feet. You can find R5 with smaller square feet, but that was done in a different era with different zoning. It might have been a different zoning and they changed it to R5. So you might have smaller ones, but if you're to do a new subdivision, you have to follow R5 being 5,000 minimum square feet. If you have 7,500 square feet or more, 7,500 divided by 3,750, you can have a duplex. So you can have 2 kitchens on the property. And I'm using the word kitchens because that's a limiting element of a home. You need to have a kitchen to have a home and to be able to sell it and to get a mortgage on it. You have to have all of those things. So, okay, so we've got 6.9 potential units. You have to round down, that's 6 units. Okay, all right, so what do you do with 6 units? Well, okay, so there's approximately 17 city departments that have to approve moving forward with anything that you do with a permit. So to subdivide it, you'd have to make sure that you can have adequate water, roadways are wide enough for the fire department, for the garbage can pickup. But of all of the departments, probably the 2 largest, most limiting ones are the sewer and water. Water capacity, water pressure, and sewer. Is there adequate supply of sewer capacity to add 6 units to this currently really 0 kitchens, but 1 lot, 1 house. So, okay, so the first thing we did was to check water board and sewer, and water was fine. They have plenty of water and good water pressure, but sewer, no. They will only allow 1 kitchen, 1 unit. Okay, so there's how you determine value. It doesn't matter what you can do. I mean, to be extreme, you could say you could put a hotel on it someday, but that might be 300 years from now. But That's being extreme, but you can't put 6 on it now. You can only put 1. Well, there's other ways you can solve sewage. You can release sewage in the middle of the night with a timer and a sump pump. We asked them that, and the answer was no. There's some other ways, but we're not getting any positive feedback from them. So it's just one kitchen, one house. Now, I mentioned early on that she had 2 houses, but she let one fall apart. Actually, let both fall apart. One's completely gone, one's still there. The one that's there could be restored. And if you had the other one, it could have been restored, and they would have had to give you 2 units, but it didn't happen that way. So now there's nothing. So might as well just clear off the old home and put one brand new one on it, or just keep it as vacant land. And if you wanted to sell it, you sell it as vacant land. That's what you have to do now. And the new owner could build a new home, or the existing owner could build one home and at least get some rental income. And another thing to think about is, okay, so there's this old uninhabitable home on there right now. There's no insurance. So there's no liability insurance and there's no fire insurance. And it's for sure a fire hazard, even though electricity's been turned off long ago. But these days a homeless person could do a campfire in there and burn it, and then it would catch to the next door neighbors, and you have no liability and no fire. Oh my gosh, that could sink your ship. So you really should get the old home off. And Kaimuki has so many derelict homes in it. People, all of these things are close together and they're all uninsurable. Just an aside, but they don't have insurance. They can't get it. When the house is uninhabited, the insurance people pull the insurance. So, okay. So what do you do with this piece of property? How do you value it? Since you can't get sewer capacity, so you can only put one home on it. Well, you put one home on it and rent it. You sell it to someone for 1 unit land value, and the next person can put one home on it. And if they do, they should put it in such a place that future subdivision, you could actually subdivide now, I believe, and be ready for the future. So you want to make sure that the home you put on today is properly situated on the lot, so that when you subdivide, it's in the right place and you don't have to move it or tear it down again. Be a good purchase for a land banker type buyer, someone who will just buy it and sit on it for 10, 20 years. Hopefully the city will catch up with their sewer capacity. Who knows? And maybe then they can do the highest and best use for what the zoning would allow. Okay, well, that's one example of what I do every day for helping people to evaluate properties. And this, if you want to go further, then you hire an architect who can do further studies on properties like this to make sure that you have tried everything to get the highest and best use out of it. So there you go. Again, if you have any questions of me, love to hear from you, and hope everyone has a great day. Thank you.